So suppose we have, let me make it short for you first, that will help us to understand, otherwise it will just keep explaining everything. It will explain everything, but let me make a note, simple short note for you to keep that in mind, which is what is happening actually while packet is flowing in the firewall.
Okay.
Ingress traffic, in ingress traffic we have,
Okay.
so suppose we have packet flow where we have, we our traffic flow is traversing in mainly two paths, slow path and fast path.
What is it? The say it again. I didn't get it.
Yeah, mainly we are having this traffic flow in slow path and fast path. If somebody asks,
Oh,
yeah, some slow path
Okay.
and fast path.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody asks, what is the packet flow for Palo Alto firewall, that we can simply
Uh-huh.
say it will
Uh-huh.
mainly happen in slow path and fast path. Whereas in slow path we have every process before connection table.
Oh.
Connection table means stateful inspection. Before stateful inspection, it will bypass the everything of, because it has
Mhm.
connection table area. Slow path, we do
So
not have
is
connection
it
table.
is it one thing like is it either this or that or both? It does both.
It does both when it is coming to slow path. Let me.
Okay, let me tell you what I understand. So you're saying Palo Alto,
Mhm.
let's say you send the traffic, you are like, let's say you want to go to a site that is hosted by an internal company server. So a request comes in to go to that site, it comes to the firewall, Palo Alto firewall. So it handles that both ways, slow path and fast path at the same time.
Yeah, it's at the same time it will, let me explain you how it will. I'm adding connection table in slow path. I'm not adding, in fast path we have connection table already. In slow path we do not have connection table. Let me explain. Suppose
Mhm. Okay.
suppose we have traffic coming on inside interface or firewall, right?
Okay.
We have
Okay.
initiated traffic from client PC and it has been reached
Okay.
to the ingress interface of firewall, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And now suppose this is the first time this user is initiating traffic, right?
Okay.
This
Uh-huh.
is the first time. I'm talking about slow path from the beginning. Slow path means it will combine fast path also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So slow path is not separate actually. It is combining the fast path, and slow fast path is separate because it is not combining the connection table. So let me explain. It will help you to understand now. Suppose in
Mm-hmm.
packet has been dropped at ingress interface of firewall. Now it will check everything, right? If there is a session already,
Oh,
there is a
I
session
see.
already or not,
Mm.
if there is a connection table already or not, right? It will check. If suppose because this is the slow path, there is no connection table, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So first it does fast path and then it does slow path.
It does fast path first, it does slow path
Oh.
first. Slow path connection
Mm-hmm.
table, first time user requesting for destination, specific destination. So user initiated the traffic, it will check everything: source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, right? So protocol policies, right? It will check everything. Go back to the
Mm-hmm.
so it will you can see my screen, right? It is visible to you, or
Mm-hmm.
I'll just make it large.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's okay. I can read it.
Okay, so you can see, right?
I can make it big from my side here.
Okay, so you can receive packet ingress
Mm-hmm.
process. It means
Mm-hmm.
it will check for interfaces zones, right? It will
Mm-hmm.
check which interface the traffic is um, hitting. Suppose your IP
Okay.
source IP is 10.1 your source IP is 10.1.1.1 and interface IP is 10.1.1.10 slash 24. Sorry for my writing, let me correct it from next session. Okay, so 10 and 1024, this interface traffic, someone has initiated this traffic from this source IP, and this will hit the network interface 10.1.1.10 slash 24. It will be identified automatically because the traffic is related to this IP. So this will hit the interface which has the interface IP 10.1.1.10 slash 24. Every traffic which will come from 10.1.1 slash 24 will hit the interface having this IP, and then it will be hitting the zone because interface we have configured interface and zone. It is a zone based firewall, right? So interface will not come into picture. We are just checking so that hitting the interface is a part of trust zone, right? Interface is a part of trust zone. Yesterday we had discussed, right? Day before yesterday.
Yes.
So interface is a part of trust zone. This traffic is sitting in
Yes.
trust zone. How we now know it? Ingress interface. Ingress process has been done.
Yes.
So in ingress process, now we have identified. Now we have identified the source zone of the packet,
Mm-hmm.
right? Interface and source zone we have identified properly. Now it will again go to ingress process error. If there is any error, it will discard packet. Suppose the traffic source IP is something which is not known to the firewall, which has not configured on any of the interface of the firewall, right? So it
Yes.
will discard the packet because it is unknown to the interface firewall, because firewall will deny, definitely will deny, because it is not hitting any of the interface, because this is
Mm-hmm.
unknown IP in simple words. And then it will again check, it has been discarded, so we'll not check No, it will not check anything. Firewall inspection applicable, SSL VPN inspection applicable or not. It will not check because it is not known IP. It is not IP which is configured in the interfaces, firewall interfaces, right? If it is configured, then it will say yes. See, it will say yes. Here you can see. It will say yes. It has been discarded just because it is not known to firewall interfaces. It will say yes. If it is known to firewall interfaces, it will go to the IPsec SSL tunnel decryption. It is not. It is something. Suppose there is a VPN in between, right? So the IP again will be changed. VPN IP will be there, right? So source zone will be identified again. We are discussing about ingress packet, ingress zone right now. This is
Mm-hmm.
ingress only. So now again the IP has been changed. This will come again after identified this. If there is a VPN traffic, VPN IP, VPN traffic has been changed, then there is a VPN traffic, obviously the IP will be changed, right? So it will, the packet ingress process will again will be there. So it will change the interfaces now. The interfaces which was there, interface IP 10.1.1, now interface IP is VPN IP, VPN source IP. Suppose 120 has been provided. I am just giving you a rough idea. 1.1.3. So this has been the ingress IP right now. Now we have security policies there, net policies there, then it will be identified after VPN encryption, VPN tunnel created. Let me go to the this. If there is a VPN tunnel in firewall we have created, let me just rough out. Suppose there is a VPN tunnel in firewall. So this is firewall, suppose, and this is the second firewall. VPN is created. VPN is there. VPN is created. VPN tunnel is created. So if something is hitting on the firewall and going to the outside world, and then VPN is there, the IP will be changed. The ingress interface is hitting here. Now it will go and check firewall policy and everything. It sees that the IP is again changing. Interface IP is again changing on the basis of VPN is there. Getting my point?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it will be changed again and it will check the policies on the basis of VPN again now. If we have anything configured on the basis of VPN, it will check again,
Okay.
right?
Got it.
So
Mm-hmm.
inside interface is now identified. If there is a VPN, inside interface now identified. If there is a VPN, suppose this is considered the VPN is there in the firewall, then IP will be there for the VPN. So inside interface will be changed. If you are creating VPN, you will have to create interfaces of VPN, tunnel of VPN, right? So interfaces will be captured, VPN interface will be captured, and it will be considered as a zone interface inside zone of the firewall for the Palo Alto. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we are good till here, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So I'll share the basic, very basic of this. So I'm just explaining everything just to keep that in mind. You can also have your own explanation later, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll share the very simple, very basic, just to explain each and every one. If you are going to explain everything in L1 L2, you can explain in very simple words. I'm explaining here everything so that you can have an idea where and which is going through, what is going through where, right? So this is done. Ingress process is done, right?
Okay.
So we have identified there is a this first time it has actually checking everything. So we have done ingress interface. Now it will go through the connection table has been created, right? We have identified interfaces and everything. VPN IP interfaces has been identified. If there is a VPN device in between, we have identified. Now it will go to the fast path. Inspection applicable, it will directly hit this packet forwarding process, which is not
Mm-hmm.
necessary right now. We will just go to our simple ones. So ingress traffic done, VPN decryption traffic done, flow lookup. Now we will go through the flow lookup. In flow lookup, we will have,
Mm-hmm.
just
Raw
scrolling.
lookup. Mm-hmm.
So we will have session matched found. If yes, then we will go forward. If no,
Mm-hmm.
forwarding lookup, net policing lookup. This is actually a slow path. Session found we
Mm-hmm.
will discuss later. Session not found, we are discussing this part, right? So do
Mm-hmm.
not have session found yet. We are creating session. So now it will
Mm-hmm.
go to the forwarding lookup, where we will check everything related to route. If there is a VCS in between, VCS is a virtual system created in the physical firewall itself. Get egress interfaces and type route lookup, it will check route lookup. Forwarding lookup is kind of route lookup, we can clearly say that. Route lookup, it will check for the routes, if there is any routes for the particular IP which is there, right, which is it is related to interface IP. It will check the interface IP to the routing. If the routing is there for the interface IP, it will take it from there and will forward the packet accordingly. So forwarding lookup will be done based on the interface IP which we have figured out here in the ingress interface part. Got it? Let me know if you have questions.
Okay. No, it's okay.
Yeah, so we have identified ingress IP, interface IP, everything we have identified here. Now on the basis of this finding, we will go through the forwarding lookup. In forwarding lookup, we will be checking the routing part. If there is any
Mm-hmm.
route related to this IP, what we have figured out or not. If there is no route,
Mm-hmm.
the packet obviously will drop. If there is a route, it
Mm-hmm.
will go forward, it will check the net policy. On the basis of route,
Mm-hmm.
is there any net policy configured on that or not?
Mm-hmm.
On the basis of route, it will check for the net policy. It is there any net policy configured or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So net
But
policy,
is it necessary to have a napping policy, or it's for not for every, not for every like not for every destination or
yeah, it is not necessary. It is actually based on the requirement. Most of the time, the
okay.
requirement is there. Suppose you are going to the internet, basic
Mm-hmm.
scenario, so you should have net, right, for the same.
Mm-hmm.
Your 10.1.1 cannot go to the internet, so you should have
Mm-hmm.
net policies there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is just basic or mostly commonly used scenario where we should have net policies. Most of the time
Okay.
we will have net policies to reach out to the public internet, right? So forwarding,
Mm-hmm.
after identifying the forwarding lookup, routing lookup, route has been identified, then route will check if there is any net policy configured for the particular route, and then it will
Mm-hmm.
check for the security policy lookup. We are only looking up the policies configured or not, we are not applying actually here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we have
Mm-hmm.
identified the route in slow path, we have identified the route policy lookup if we have any route policy or not, and now we have checking the security policy lookup if we
Mm-hmm.
have any
Okay.
security policy or not.
Okay.
If it has been identified, suppose it has been identified, the policy is there, then we will go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If we do not, if we are not able to identify if the policy is there or not, we will just simply discard
Mm-hmm.
the packet, right? If there is
Okay.
no policy, there is no net, there is no routing for, so it will simply discard the packet like we discarded here
Mm-hmm.
in the ingress process,
Okay.
right? Because we are not able to identify it, it will simply discard. And now suppose we have find out the net policy, we have find out the forwarding lookup, lookup, we have find out the security policy is configured for this, then we will go through the
Mm-hmm.
fast path. In fast path, we have, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
we have session lookup,
Mm-hmm.
right? See here, we have session lookup, it will identify if the session is there or not.
Mm-hmm.
It will always come after the session is not, session is there. It is going like this. From the beginners, I mean from the first time you, who's accessing the destination first time, it will go like this,
Mm-hmm.
right? It will go like this and will end way here.
Okay.
Or and the second time, suppose you are accessing Google second time as a user, you are
Mm-hmm.
accessing Google second time, then it will not go
Okay.
like this. Let me show
Mm.
you how will it go.
Because it already did the slow path.
Yes, correct. It will have the connection table, so it will not go through the slow path again. It will directly check the session. Session means slope connection table.
Okay. If so, the connection table gets created. So, say for example, I'm I'm inside and I want to go outside. Like I'm in my company,
Hmm.
so they limit to what website I go, right? Or my access to the
Yes,
internet.
correct.
So I go. So let's say, for example, I go to Google, and the same person, same user, I'm the same laptop.
Hmm.
I go next time. I go to LinkedIn. Third time, I go to Amazon.
Hmm.
So is it the same connection table for me?
No, no, no. The connection table will be different, right? In connection table,
Different. Okay.
what information we have in connection table? Source IP,
Oh yeah, yeah.
destination
Correct.
IP, right? We have
That's true. Sorry, sorry. That
everything
was
will
a
be
stupid
different. Yeah.
question.
Same
So yes,
if you are
so the so
yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
If you are going through the Google again and again, then the connection table will be same. The session will be same. If you are going to the LinkedIn
Okay.
again and again, the connection table will be same. It will go.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Right. Now you are going to
Mhm.
LinkedIn second time. Suppose you have
Mhm.
LinkedIn session established, you have connection table for LinkedIn, then the second time the packet flow will be like this. It will check
Hmm.
ingress process pub, pump properly without any issue, then it will go directly to the fast path. It will check the session
Mhm.
lookup, right? If there is
Mhm.
any session we have or not, then it will session match found, then we will go to the L2 L4 processing, which is completely a net translation. Net lookup has been done in slow path, but we have.
So
Mhm.
why is doing this when it is straight to the fast path? Because this is the second time
Yeah,
I'm
this
going
is
to
the
LinkedIn.
second time. Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But net translation will
Mhm.
happen again. I mean, lookup will not be happen because lookup is there in the session. Lookup has been identified in the slow path. Slow path will be skipped when
Mhm.
you are
Okay.
going to the any destination second time. I mean, from the same
Mhm.
firewall, this firewall has the connection table for the same user
I see.
using the same destination,
Okay.
same source. We can say same source, same IP, right?
Mhm.
So session match found here in fastpath, it will directly translate the net. It will translate the net directly, and it will after net translation, IP has been
Mhm.
identified from private to public and is ready to
Mhm.
communicate with the public internet. Then it will go for the SSL decryption. Something is coming from
Mhm.
public internet to your laptop, then it will also check the policies configured for SSL policies. SSL decryption. SSL decryption
Mhm.
is like certification. It will check for everything, if it is installed or not, we are decrypting the traffic or not, right?
Mhm.
And then session app identified. So this is something which session app, I mean, after net translation, after SSL proxy, session identified, it will create a new session again in fastpath.
Mhm.
Content, and then content inspection. Content inspection means URL filtering, antivirus, spyware, right?
Mhm.
Content inspection, you can see content whatever we have, application, URL filtering, anti spyware. And then in content inspection also, if we are in decrypting any traffic, we also have to encrypt again. We cannot provide the decrypted traffic to the user, right? We have to re-encrypt again. We have to check,
Yes.
we have option to check the traffic, what actually the traffic is containing. Either it is HTTPS, either it is TLS, either it is SSH, right? So we will check that by decrypting traffic, if required. If it is not required, we will not decrypt. We will not create decrypting policies. So after
Mm-hmm.
content inspection, I mean the traffic has been allowed. We have checked the URL, we have checked the antivirus, spyware, everything we have checked. Then we again encrypt the traffic to forward again, forward further, right?
Okay.
We are good till now, right? This is the first part.
Yes.
Now we are good.
Okay.
We will
Yeah.
go to the forwarding. Application identification will be done here, right? We are going like this. Application identification will be done here. Then everything has been captured. Application identification is a part of next generation firewall we discussed in the architecture, right? And then forwarding policy, forwarding egress means we will be able to identify the egress interface or firewall.
Okay.
Egress interface of firewall. Now we know what, after everything inspected in the firewall, now we know the interface IP, interface. We know this.
So you usually the firewall and interface, whether it's incoming or leaving the firewall, the interfaces, there usually are switches, right, or routers?
Yes, right,
Routers.
right.
Okay,
So
routers.
whatever is
Okay.
there after the egress interface, we will forward the traffic to the router and switches, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the router
Okay.
switches will help the traffic to move forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Firewall is for separating traffic, I mean monitoring and control the traffic. So after,
So
yes,
I have a stupid question, but I
yeah,
wanted to
no, no,
ask you
please.
anyways.
Mhm,
So say for example, like when you want to go to again something a request coming
mhm,
to like you want to go to Google, for example.
mhm.
Okay, you want to go to Google. So Google, they protect themselves by having firewall, so that only valid requests will go in, right, through the Google application. So at the what do you call it? Ingress. Ingress is incoming, right?
Yes,
Traffic
yes.
to so is it every time that you want to go to the Google IP address, the switch automatically will forward it to the firewall, so everything goes to the firewall? That's why
Mhm.
whether it
it
so
it
anything that
it depends,
mm,
it depends where actually the traffic is coming from, where the traffic is coming from, either it is trust or
okay.
untrust. Suppose you are in office network, so it is trust
Uh-huh.
traffic, right? If you are working from home and not using office laptop, and there is nothing related to office, and you are going to Google, it
Mm-hmm.
will not go, right? The traffic should be known to the firewall. Only the traffic which is known to the
Oh,
firewall will be recognized as the office traffic, office network, right?
okay, okay.
If
So
you,
anything that is coming to that company's network
mhm,
will go through the traffic.
yeah, will go to the firewall.
I mean, through the firewall,
Yeah,
and then based on that, so because it's coming for anything that is coming from outside the
yeah,
company's network is considered untrusted.
yeah, untrusted, and we do have
Trusted.
other
Okay.
security policies for the same. If we want to
Okay.
allow some untrusted traffic also, sometimes we have to allow the untrusted traffic in company firewall, right?
Uh-huh.
So we will have to allow
Okay, got
using
it.
security policies.
Okay, so the inter that's why, because when you were talking about the interface on the firewall,
Mhm.
so it's so for example, it's the core router, the or the edge router is the one that will send every any traffic to the firewall,
Yeah, you
and
can
then
see same thing like that. This is user,